touch on some of the highlights. Early in the year before, we started making a pretty significant investment in our membership acquisition and retention programs. And while we did only experience some incremental growth in our membership over the year from about 930 members to a little over 1,000, I think it was achieved in the context of some very, very difficult economic conditions. And I believe the job done by our sales and retention staff was really quite an excellent one. And we're going to continue, obviously, our work to build our membership. We hosted 43 events over the last year, including, this is sort of a list of the highlights, our sold-out networking events. For those of you who have been to some of those events, like Good Morning Mississauga, you'll know how well attended they are and how valuable they are. And we've quite a number of those over the year. Of course, our annual business awards, our Prime Minister's Lunch, which was really well attended. The Growth and Power series, where we had a number of really interesting speakers come, like Anthony and Longo, who shared with us their stories of success. Very, very interesting. Our Small Business Week event, which showcased the role and importance of innovation in business. And of course, our economic open breakfast, which was also very well attended. These events are really important because they bring our business community together to learn and to connect with one another. We see making connections for entrepreneurs as a really key component of our value proposition as a board of trade. After several years of renewal and growth for MBOT, this was also a year of reflection and forward planning. Earlier in the year, we launched a review of our governance structure and practices to ensure we have and continue to have a solid foundation in place to support MBOT's growth and success. The first phase of the review included updating our 3-year strategic plan, which proved to be a very significant, but very, very worthwhile undertaking. And we're going to be more granularly speaking to that a little bit later. And also developing an improved methodology for Board of Directors succession planning to ensure we have the optimal mix of skills and experience and balanced representation from the business community. In the next phase of our governance review, we're going to be reviewing our committee structure and mandates to make sure that they're lined up well with our new plan going forward. And we're going to review the role of director to ensure the contribution of these volunteer positions is maximized for the benefit of the organization. Your Policy and Government Affairs Committee is also a very busy this year. Given the challenging and increasingly complex economic and business environment, policy advocacy has and will continue to be a core focus of the Mississauga Board of Trade. As the voice of business in Mississauga, we have continued to demonstrate strong leadership on policy advocacy to foster a supportive economic environment for business. We've been actively involved in Ontario and the Canadian Chambers of Commerce, contributing to policy development, including bringing forward important policy issues raised by you, our members. We also have an excellent working relationship with City Hall, who often turns to MBOT for advice and counsel on business and economic matters. Employment insurance, federal copyright legislation, GTA transportation plan, goods movement, international trade, WSIB, city budget, business taxes, post-secondary education, healthy workplaces, public labor costs, research and development, employment, immigration and limits, business regulations are just some of the many issues that our committee has been very active on. In addition, the board was active during the most recent municipal, federal, and provincial elections when we hosted candidate debates and raised important issues on behalf of our membership. During the year, MBOT welcomed a steady stream of prominent politicians to Mississauga, including Prime Minister Stephen Harper, building our profile and relationships with influential decision makers, but also maximizing the opportunity to convey key messages of interest to our local business community. Another highlight of the past year is that MBOT has truly established itself as a strong leader on the effective employment integration of immigrants. Our It's in Mississauga program is delivering relevant programming, information, resources, and support to employers in hiring and developing internationally trained and skilled immigrants as employees. This work is extremely relevant to a community like Mississauga that attracts a large and growing pool of skilled immigrants. But equally important, given the critical skilled labor shortage that is facing employers now and into the future. And so the board has been very busy and productive the past year, believe, well positioned to carry forward with our mandate to support and advocate for you, our members, and for the Mississauga business community as a partner in their success. As I conclude my tenure as chair, I'd like to express my best wishes and support to MacFadden as he assumes the role of chair following the board elections today. Greg is an experienced business leader and a dedicated and passionate member of the board, someone who I've been able to rely on many times for support from advice over the past year, and someone who I know is going to do an excellent job in the role. There are a few people that I'd like to express thanks to, people who supported me over the last year and have really made a difference in my contribution to the board of directors. First of all of my colleagues on the board of directors and the executive committee, most of whom are here today. These are people who have given very freely of their time and energy to our organization to help us do the job that has to be done. And they do that with a lot of passion and dedication. And I'd like to thank them all for the support they've given the organization over the past year. And I'd like to all stand for a moment and be recognized. I'd also like to acknowledge Reno Donofrio, who was a member of our board of directors, whose term expired this year, and was no longer on the board of directors. He's someone who made a great contribution when he was with us in the magazine, and perhaps we'll be able to come back and join us again. I'd also like to acknowledge and recognize our president and CEO, Sheldon, and the staff of MBOT, who, when you think of the relatively small number of resources that we have in the office and relative to the amount of work that gets done, they really do an outstanding job, and they do it, I must say, with a big smile on their face, and always having fun, and always showing great teamwork. So I'd like to thank, I'm going to ask the staff of the Board of Trade, Sheldon, who are here today, to stand and be recognized as well. I'd also like to thank the many volunteers who help with the Board of Trade. In particular, our ambassadors and our committee members. Too long a list to name or recognize specifically, individually, but this is a membership organization. We count heavily on volunteers to carry out the work that we do, and we're very well supported by those groups of individuals, most of whom I've met over the past year, so thank you so much for that support. Our sponsors, of course, without the business sponsorship that we get for events like this and others, we never do the work that we do, so thank you to all of you. I'd like to thank the mayor as well and the city management. This is a city with a business community and a board of trade that has the full support of the city and the mayor. The mayor couldn't be here today, but the mayor was here, always providing his support, and we do really appreciate that. And last but certainly not least, my wife Dawn is here today. She made me promise not to draw attention to her by thanking her for all the support she's given me, and the understanding that she's given me over, not just over the last year, but many years I've been involved in volunteer work such as this. So I'm going to keep that promise and not thank you for all that support.